So even though we warmed up to about 20 degrees today, it's still 15 below this morning. And it hasn't warmed up enough throughout the day to bring this water level back up. So what I've got here is a big giant hole where my cows are trying to drink out of. And I'm worried that they're gonna get down on their knees trying to drink and they're gonna slide into this hole and get stuck. And I don't need any more animals dying on me. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is the bank of the slough's right over here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cut out all this here, all this ice. Then I'm gonna dig out all this snow here and try to make some gradual steps for them cows so they can just walk down into this hole here to water. I think I was saying in my last video that this water level, it's probably dropped a foot and a half, just with how cold it's been this last week. So I grabbed my chainsaw, a digging bar, and a flat nose shovel there. I'm gonna walk back and grab a snow shovel and a spade shovel. And I think we'll have all the tools that we need to get this job done. See, that's what I'm worried about, is them getting on their knees like that and then sliding in or having another cow push them in. So I think I'm done with the chainsaw now. I don't want to really cut anymore closer to the bank because I'm sure I'll hit a rock or get into the mud or something. I think I'm starting to dig up a little bit of weeds there towards the edge here. So now what I got to do, unfortunately, is I'm gonna have to get in here with the water and grab all these chunks one at a time and throw them out. Because if I just leave them in there, you know, if this water raises, it's gonna just go all around these chunks and then freeze them solid there. So I need to get in there, and I probably need to break up these two big ones here because I don't think I can pick those up out of there. So I need to break those apart and just throw them up and out. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. Here's the bank over here. I just kind of shaved that down. I'm hoping that they'll just come and walk right down into the water here and be able to drink over by that bank over on that edge, instead of being all the way out here right in the middle and trying to drink off this ledge here. You know, like I said, I was worried about them falling in. So we shaved off, you know, this whole section of ice here and threw it all out. So I'm just going to move these ice chunks a little bit further back so the cows aren't tripping on them. And then I'm going to go into the house and try not to get frostbite. So I bet it's gotten down to about 15 degrees right now, and I bet I was in that water for a good 10 minutes or so. So my boots are full of water and I'm wet up to about my knees. So I'm going to go get warmed up and we'll move on to the next project tomorrow. Well, if they all stare at it long enough, maybe they'll figure it out. I don't know what else to do for them tonight. I'm gonna go sit by the fire for about an hour, then come back out and check on our cows, see if we got any new calves. So from the sounds of it, I don't think we have too much freight coming up from Salt Lake tomorrow. So I'm hoping they don't need me to go into work and I can stay around here and get a few things done, because I got quite a few things to do on my to-do list. So on top of us starting to calve and have to come out here and check on cows all the time, I need to shovel off the roof of our house, at least the west side of it, since the snow's gotten pretty deep up there. And I have a couple of sheds that I need to shovel off also. I'm worried that if I don't get to them here before it starts warming up, that they're going to collapse on themselves, and I don't want that to happen. And I also need to cut a hole in the side of this old pump house so I can pull this dead steer out of here, because I don't know how I'd ever get him back through this doorway with him being wrapped around that pipe like he is. So I'm thinking I just need to cut a hole on the back side of that wall, and I'll just wrap a chain around him and drag him out that way. So this one here is the one I'm worried about the most. So we had some cows in here. They busted off these uprights, these supports here that's supposed to go here. And now with all that weight of the snow on the roof, you can see it's starting to collapse. I need to get some of that one over there, because we got all these trees back here behind it. It kind of prevents some of that snow from sliding off, so it just builds up. And they say we're supposed to warm up here in a couple days, supposed to get back up in the mid-30s and even get kind of a snow rain mix. And if we get all that heavy weight on these roofs, that won't be good. They'll probably start collapsing, so I need to get this done before we get much warmer. So I got the spot that I was most concerned about cleaned off, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and kind of get the edges and the top edge of this roof here, and probably the same up along that roof and the bottom edge of that one. I probably this summer I need to come up here and trim these trees back again. I trimmed these trees back really far, but it's been probably four or 5 years ago that I did it. They've grown back since then, and looks like I need to get up here and do it again just so the snow can slide off a little bit easier. So I got these sheds shoveled off as good as they're gonna get today. Just running out of time, so then they go get the cows fed. So I don't think I'm gonna get to pulling that steer out of that old pump house today, but it's so cold, he's frozen solid. He's not gonna start stinking anytime soon. We got a new calf while I was up shoveling off them roofs. Here's this mom here, big red cow. You can see some of the afterbirth hanging out from her. Pretty good sized bull calf. Seems like he's doing pretty good. There's our other calf from a couple days ago. He's doing good also. Kitty. He's got a bunch of hay dust on him. He's been laying in this hay here. Finally gonna get started on our roof. Nice thing about being up on our roof is I can just look right over and see our cows out here. So I'll be able to keep an eye on them while I'm up here shoveling. I don't know if you can see them, but we got all these ducks, and they're landing in that straw that we spread the other day. So I shoveled off as much snow as I wanted to on this roof. I left some because I don't really want to shovel off all the snow, because having a little bit of snow up here actually gives you a little bit more insulation value on your roof, and it just keeps the house that much warmer. So I didn't want to shovel it all off, but I just wanted to get some of these heavier sections off before it got wet and heavy. So that'll be good for now, and we can go on to other chores. And to get off this roof, I wanted to see if I couldn't do one of my old snowboarding tricks from back in the day. Give that a try.
Ready? I'm ready. You're not! Brian Luthi.
Missed the snowbank. a little bit out of practice.
Dad thinks he's so cool.
That was pretty cool.
That was way cool, but you're also over 30, so still that snow's pretty deep though, huh? Thank goodness. We didn't have to call an ambulance.
Well, that wasn't the most graceful backflip I've ever done. But in my defense, it's been 6 or 7 years since I've done a backflip on a snowboard, and it's probably 30, 40 pounds lighter back then too. I didn't think it was too bad. I got this calf all taken care of. Another little heifer calf. Seems like she's doing really good. That's her mom there, that Rocco-faced cow there. So let's keep plugging away with chores, and we'll eventually try to get that dead steer out of that old pump house. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but we'll get to him. So I don't know how well you can see out there, but that red cow right behind this black one, that's this one's mother. I've had 3 other mama cows come over here and trying to smell this one, see if it was theirs, but that's his mom out there. Looks like we got a couple calves in our little calf shed here. So we got this bar across here, so only the calves couldn't go under there and get in that straw, and it keeps the cows out. All right, here she comes. Took her long enough to see him. So I'm finally getting around to pulling the steer out of this shed. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just pull all this tin off the side. And I've got a Sawzall. So I'm just gonna cut out maybe 2 or 3 feet high here, this bottom part, and we'll wrap a chain around that steer and pull them out with the tractor when I come out here to feed here in a few hours. So just looking at him from this side, like I said, he got himself wrapped around this pipe somehow. So he must have stepped over and slipped, and he's hung up on that pipe. So I don't want to try and pick him up and over that, because this pipe actually connects to our main line that goes down to our pivots and waters our fields. I don't want to be breaking that or putting any more stress on that than what there already is. Probably going to start in here and cut from the inside out, just so I can see what I'm doing and see what I needed to cut. So I think I'm actually going to cut a little bit higher, maybe about where that sheet of plywood goes across there, because this guy, he's frozen solid. So when I go to turn him out and his legs start to turn up, I want to make sure I can clear this wall and not get stuck with him. So let's cut a bigger hole than I thought I would. So one problem I can see right off is the steer's leg. See how it's wrapped around that valve there? I mean, like I said, he's frozen solid. I think I need to cut that leg off right about there at the joint, because I don't want to bust this valve off when I drag this steer out. So I guess if you guys don't want to watch that, I'd maybe close your eyes for the next 30 seconds. Just kind of want to show you guys what kind of ordeal this is. There's his foot. So I'm thinking to wrap the chain around its neck right here. It'll pull it out this way. And hopefully them legs will just swing under that pipe. We'll be able to pull them right out. board's stuck in here. There we go. Well, we got him out of there. Tore half the shed apart doing it. So before I leave tonight, I'm just gonna put some tin back across these openings just so I don't have the same problem again, and it'll keep them cows from getting in there. So I just load this steer in the bucket, and luckily I've got a few friends that will take him and cut him up and use him as bear bait in the spring, so he won't be a complete waste. So I know we had a whole bunch of odd projects over this last week or so, and that's kind of what's been going on around here, just calving, odd projects, just trying to stay on top of things. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.